Coming up next, Wood and Walters.
Remember when soup was just, well, soup? Now from Cameron's comes 3-course meal in a can. In each can of soup, you get a 3-course meal. It's really filling. Sets you up without setting you back. Soup with that extra something.
What do you want? Car, 2:30 for Mr. Andrews. Denise, we're not sending them up without saying anything. Aye? We could have been at it or anything. All right. He's not the first dentist to sniff ether, is he? Aye? Who said he only had a dribble bib on? Oh, God. There you are. Sit down. You won't be long. They always try him out the pub at closing time. Mind you, we needed a drink this morning. Blimey, his bloody hands were like this. I don't know what he thought he was doing with that drill. I said to him, she wanted to fill in on a tonsillectomy. He's had it up the noses before now. Still, Zach's picking it, that's what we say. Have a lie down. Oh, sorry. I bet he don't know what half these buttons are for, you know. He's not a bit mechanically minded. All the RIC had was just his braces. Good though, ain't it, eh? Good, ain't it? Yeah. We have indentures, no, just a filling, I think. Oh, blimey. Make sure he's got his glasses on, that's all I can say. Stuff anything in there, Will. What? Wine, gums, bits of string, whatever he's got in his pocket. Well, to make sure he gets your name right and all. We had a woman in last week. He took out every tooth in her head. She'd only come in for a scale and polish. Died laughing, we did.
Didn't she say anything?
Oh, no, she was unconscious. Oh, no, he puts them all under, sir. So they don't have to talk to him.
Injection?
Aye. Oh, it depends. I mean, sometimes he just hides behind the hat rack and jumps out at you with the socks out. Mind your feet. That's it. It's a good job you're a blonde. He likes brunettes. What? Forever having brunettes ringing up when they get home saying, aye, my teeth haven't been cleaned and my bra's on inside out. Way up here he comes. I better go.
Aren't you going to stay and help him?
Me? No, I've got my own patients. No, I only come in for these. Haven't you stopped bleeding yet? Thought of any jokes for this sketch yet? Nope.
Good evening. Now, yes, before we go any further, please don't send me any more of your marital problems. This morning, my letterbox was crammed with 2 husbands and a Jack Russell. Now, I'll just quickly deal with a couple of letters. Better. Now, Marion has written in saying she's an introvert and she suffers from agoraphobia. Well, Marion, you need to get out and meet people, dear. And Gemma says, I enclose my photo Dotty, I think I'm just plain ugly. Well, yes, Gemma, you are. Oh, dear, I suggest you put a paper bag on your head and learn to tap dance. Now, then, a lot of people have written in saying, Dotty, where on earth do you get your clothes? Well, as you can see, I don't just whip round marks with a trolley and a check card. No, that's not my scene, as you cats would put it. No, I'm bold. I have a go. Do you know, Daddy and I were the first couple in our crescent to go unisex? Yes, though some felt he didn't look as good in the pinafore dress as I did. And I must admit, I was taken aback when he ordered me a pair of open crotch panties from the back of the Daily Mirror. But, you see, they turned out to be the perfect thing for keeping my rollers in place without flattening my fringe. I have taste, you see. I mean, I can pick up a kilt here, a bolero there, and heads turn wherever I go. And it needn't be expensive. Do you know, when Daddy and I went to Tewkesbury on the tandem, and we got on like a house on fire once I realised I had to pedal as well. All my clothes got soaked due to the rain, and I knocked up a lovely little costume out of a saddlebag and a road safety poster. Do you remember these? Do you? I had 4, all made with my singer, a bottom sheet, and a blackout curtain. Girls, keep up with the trends. I once snuck into one of those Paris fashion shows, you know, took some lovely pics. But unfortunately, security guard grabbed me in the lobby and crumpled my Polaroids. It was a very upsetting experience. But girls, don't forget the good old jumble sales. Could those loose covers do for hubby's Bermudas? Remember, one woman's antimacassar is another woman's lace hot pants. And finally, girls, use colour. Use colour. Nature's shades. This 2-piece will always mean a lot to me because it is dyed to the exact colour of Daddy's face before his second stroke. And next week, I shall be telling you how to insulate your loft with dog biscuits. Till then, good evening. I said good evening.
Bloody long time, isn't it? Oh, God. I feel sick. No, I do not joke.
Oh, you really do?
Yeah.
I'll just stop it.
Oh, no, I'm not joking. Graham, I feel sick. Can you go? Yeah, I think I'll have to. Can you let? Oh, blood. Oh, God.
Under the bed, close, quiet as a mouse, you're reading one of them murder stories set in a country house.
I suppose she'd be frightening.
This piano sounds like an Avon lady, but never mind. I say, someone's gone and killed Perkins. He's lying all over the floor. I don't mean to be sarky, but there's blood on the parquet. Now, Tilby late, what a bore. I say, someone's gone and shot Arthur, rather cleverly, right through the brain. What a shocking faux pas. He's gone rather too far. He won't be invited again. I say, someone's tried to kill Mummy. They put arsenic into her tea. By a great stroke of luck, their plan came unstuck. She only drinks cocoa, you see. I say, what's the matter with Nanny? I think she's been stabbed in the back. Somebody spiked her. Well, nobody liked her. And I look rather charming in black. I say, come and listen to Daddy. What a peculiar cough. His tie's rather tangled. Oh, yes, he's been strangled. No wonder he looks so pissed off. I say, someone's cutting my head off. I'm halfway through my vodka and lime. Good heavens, it's Mummy. I'm perfectly crummy. Did you guess it was her all the time? Or not? You see, you did. ladies. Welcome back to the Women's Institute. What a shame the weather's been so bad for you here in England. No wonder you're all so pale. I must say, it's terribly easy to tan on Naxos. No, my husband says I'm the exact colour of a Cadbury's Dairy Milk. Anyway, jolly nice to be back. Jolly relieved to see the back of the one-way system in Athens. I said to my husband, don't take the rolls, take the maxi. Man. Anyway, you'll hear all about that when I bring my slides. Now, little message from Mr. Ripley, the caretaker. Baking failures. In the bin, not down the lavatory pan. Okay? Mr. Ripley says he's sick and tired of poking out soggy shortcake with a bent coat hanger. Now, on a lighter note, beg pardon, Mr. Ripley's talk, Life Has a Lot to Offer Even Though You've Got No Bowels, is on Wednesday. Now, competition results, flower arranging, what can you do with a thistle and a bent stick? Was won by Mrs. MacArthur, who's popping in on her way back from outpatients. Now, the slimming, there's been a bit of a mix-up over this one. Mrs. Hargreaves appeared to be the outright winner, having lost 2 stone the first week. Now she thinks she may originally have weighed in with a shopping trolley on the scale. So to get back to you on that one. And the cookery, don't wince at mince. The most original mince recipe was devised by Mrs. Seabrook, Betty, for her banana surprise. Now, just time for one more item before we all dive on Heather's marvellous Garibaldi's. And that's the questionnaire, which I finally managed to compile the results of. You know, the one you filled in the summer. I had a little help from my eldest daughter, Janice, who, as you know, is off to Warwick Uni next week to read infant teaching. Now, I'll just let the new members know. The questionnaire dealt quite frankly, quite openly with all the more intimate aspects of married life. The questionnaire was in 3 parts: the marriage partner, love in a marriage, and the bedroom aspect. Now, section 1, given your time again, would you marry the same man again? 82% said no, they'd rather have their teeth out without an anaesthetic. 27% said they would marry the same man if burping a baldness and repeating a joke could be made illegal. And 1% said she had, in fact, married the same man twice. And that hadn't stopped him running off with the next-door neighbour and the electric toothbrush. Now, section 2, love. 54% said they stopped loving their husbands when they started keeping their socks on in bed. 45% said love had ceased for them when their husbands began keeping just their socks in bed, hoping that the familiar smell would delude their wives into thinking they were there too. And 1% said she would always love her husband. And anyway, she had the batteries for the electric toothbrush. Now, section 3, the bedroom aspect. 63% said the best excuse was a headache. In fact, most of them had continuous migraine since the coronation. 36% said they didn't mind doing it, as long as there was no talking and they could get on with their knitting. And 1% said she'd learn to live without it. And now we have a little song from Mavis on hobbies, and then Betty will give her talk entitled We Never Stopped Laughing. Some aspects of a long career in the Department of Health and Social Security. Thank you.
I want to be 14 again, when sex was just called number 10, and I was up to 7.5. Boys were for love, and girls were for fun. You burst out laughing if you saw a nun. Sophistication was a sports car and a chiffon scarf. I want to be 14 again, tattoo myself with a fountain pen, pretend to like the taste of rum and coke, chuck my school hat in a bush, spit on my mascara brush, buy consulate and teach myself to smoke. I wanna be 14 again, free rides on the waltzes of the fairground men, for a promise of a snog the last night of the fair. French kissing as the kiosk shut, behind the generators with your coconuts. The coloured lights reflected in the brill cream on his hair. I wanna be 14 again, for all the things I didn't know then. When I was funny, I was famous, I was never ignored. I was crazy Jews, I had a laugh, I had Ilya Kuryakin's autograph. I had no idea you could wake up feeling bored.
Well, we've seen our finalists in swimwear, exposing as much flesh as possible, in backless evening gowns with plunged necklines. We've seen them teetering through the botanical gardens in a howling gale and very little else. But now it's personality time. And my goodness, the tension's been building up backstage, I can tell you. I can tell you because it's written down here. But before I interview our 5 finalists, here's a non-entity from Radio 2 to interview last year's Miss Wobblers.
Well, Karina, what sort of a year has it been for you? Pretty exciting, I should imagine.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you were saying.
No, it doesn't matter.
I suppose you attended lots of different sort of functions in your capacity, yes?
Yeah. Quite a few, actually. It's quite interesting, in a way. I suppose.
And did you meet lots of exciting sort of personalities?
I met Pamela Stevenson.
Oh, the zany blonde from Not the 9 O'Clock News.
No, Pamela Stevenson I was at junior school with.
Any advice for this year's Miss Wobblers?
Oh, not really. Except, don't do what I did.
Oh, what was that?
I crushed a nipple trying to get a rugby ball out of a sycamore tree.
Well, the girls have now changed out of their wet T-shirts, so it's back to Marion to find out more about our 5 lovely girls.
I see here you're a nude model and call girl, Marlena. What do you do in your spare time?
Scrub floors for nuns, mainly, adopt handicapped children, and pay the funeral expenses of old people who die in my hometown.
So you believe in service to the community?
Community what? Oh, well, whatever you say, anyway.
Christina, I'm sure you've been asked this many times before. Is there any bitching or rivalry between the girls backstage?
Oh, no, it's a smashing atmosphere. All the girls are really helpful and friendly.
Hilary, what do you say to women's libber's accusations that beauty contests are merely cattle markets?
Well, I think it's up to the individual, really. Sorry, can you hold it a bit nearer? And surely true feminism means each woman is free to express her own individuality in whatever direction she chooses.
Yes, but you're reading that of a card your mother's holding up. What do you really think of women's lib?
I think they're all flat-chested, ugly old dykes who never get laid, really.
What do you say, Elspeth, to those who think that any girl who looks like you do must be a dumb blonde?
Well, my ambition is to travel, meet people, and be happy.
And how are you feeling, Romana? Confident or nervous?
Well, nervous, really, but confident, too.
And how do you rate your chances?
Oh, I'm going to win.
Oh, my goodness. How can you be so sure?
Well, I bribed 2 of the judges and slept with 3 others. So, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, indeed. And now we have a cabaret singer you all thought was dead, miming to a record which wasn't any good in the first place. Then we'll be meeting our 5 finalists for the last time. They'll be standing behind a screen with 3 holes cut in it. Bye for now. Just the endless panorama of embarrassed how-do-you-dos. Paisley nylon underpants and elastic-sided shoes. I can't tie knots for no one. I never make a wren. And I've always fancied being a known being sympathetic to people on their own. Except I'm not sympathetic. Most people would agree. I'd just say that was terribly boring. I think we should talk about me. Imagine getting wages for taking the piss out of men. Cameraman, I think I'd make a brilliant comedian. I've already been engaged once. It's as much fun as phlegm. Having in-depth conversations about bleeding bony M. I've been stuck at home doing nothing. Ended up chucking clocks. Abusing Plymouth brethren through the letterbox. Now I have decided, you just tell me when I can start to be a... Forgot what it was. Oh. Comedian.
Right, you're in for this. Right. I've watched your so-called programme on a couple of occasions, and I feel prompted to write that it can only be described as amateurish rubbish.
Oh, no.
It makes Muffin the Mule look intellectual, two grossly unattractive females prefer the test card any day of the week. All in all, a new low in entertainment. P.S. I enclose your brother's wedding photos. If you're coming home on a Sunday, don't forget your washing.
She's a real killy almost, isn't she?